Hi guys, welcome back to Informed Beauty. So it's been a hot minute. It's been at least 3 months since I last sat down and filmed a video. So this video is long overdue. I want to continue on with my wedding series, and I wanted to do a video specifically about my wedding dress. Now, I know I've done a couple videos about my wedding dress. There was a video about how I chose or how to choose your wedding dress, and I kind of alluded to my dress a little bit, but I didn't want to give away a lot of details because it was before my wedding. And then I also did a video about the alterations process. And again, I didn't want to give away a lot about my dress because that was before my wedding. And of course, I didn't want my then fiance, now husband, to see anything, and I didn't want most people to see what my wedding dress looks like before the wedding day. Now that our wedding is over, and it was over almost 6 months ago, it's hard to believe that I've been married, or we've been married for almost 6 months now. But I contemplated whether or not to share pictures of my dress. Now, I don't want to share pictures of anyone from the wedding. It'll just be me in the dress. And it will be pictures of either that my bridesmaids took, and I might include some pictures that were done by my professional photographer for a wedding day. And of course, I will give credit to whoever took that photo. I just don't know yet which pictures I will use. But basically, this video is going to be revealing more details about my dress, the style, the color, the details of it, because I didn't really talk about those details before. So let's just get started with the main information. The designer, I guess, brand you could say is Morilee, and I'm sure lots of you are familiar with Morilee. They make bridesmaid dresses, they make, I believe, grad dresses as well. So it was Morilee, and the designer is Madeline Gardner, from my understanding. So it's Morilee by Madeline Gardner, and it was a dress, I believe, from the 2017 spring collection, and it was the Blu Collection, BLU. And the name of the dress was Marlena, and the style number is 5506. Just in case you guys are interested or you're shopping for wedding dresses and you fall in love with this one, then you can always look it up that way. So style number 5506. But basically, it was a fit and flare. So it was tight fitting all throughout the bust, the waist, the hips, and then it slowly trumpeted out from mid-thigh outward. So it kind of had like that trumpet fit and flare look to it. It had a decently long train. And it had these really cute covered buttons going all the way down the back, from about the lower back to the bottom of the dress to where the train ended. The straps were relatively thick, and the dress was made from satin. When I looked it up, it said Larissa satin. I'm not too sure what that means. Maybe some of you can explain that to me if you're seamstresses or you work with fabrics. I certainly don't work with those things. So it was Larissa satin, and that is why my dress was so hard to work. Well, partly why my dress was harder to alter was because it was made from satin, and apparently satin is just more difficult to work with. But the dress had a really flattering V, like a very deep V neckline. And it was more revealing in the front than I actually anticipated I would even want or would prefer in a dress. Same in the back. So the straps, the thick straps that kind of extended out down the back, the satin switched into crystal and beading halfway through the straps about here. And then in the back, it was all crystal, well, not crystals, but it looked like crystals and a lot of sparkles and some pearls as well. So when I mentioned my jewelry, the necklace that I had on my wedding day had pearls which really matched the pearls on the back of my dress. So it kind of all worked together. And it was almost like a butterfly back to the dress. It was a very open back dress. So my lower back was open, my upper back was open. All you could see were these two straps going down and meeting at close to my lower back, but a little bit higher. And they just met at the spot where there was just, and it was all glittery and crystally and just gorgeous pearls all in the back. And it was, again, just not the back that I would have envisioned for myself. I think it was probably maybe the fourth dress that I tried on. It was the first store that I was at. I believe it was the first bridal store that I went to. And it was a dress that I saw on the hanger, and I wasn't that enamored by it. I just thought that it looked pretty plain from the front. I thought the back looked kind of cool, and I thought that, well, maybe it'll look more interesting when I try it on. It just looked like one of those dresses that doesn't look like much on the hanger, but I might enjoy when I try it on. But I kind of forgot about it. I didn't take it for the person to give it to me to try on in the fitting rooms. But my bridesmaid was like, hey, you did kind of eye that dress. Did you want to still try it? And I said, you know, why not? And I put it on, and I just felt like it flattered my body more than any other dress that I had put on that day. And even when I went to the other bridal stores, I kept comparing the dresses that I was trying on to that dress, even though I hadn't quite made my mind up yet. I think subconsciously I had already, because I just kept comparing and referring to that dress. And I think at one point I called it my dress before I had even made the decision that it was going to be my wedding day dress. And I know my bridesmaids thought that that was pretty amusing. I think they knew that I was going to choose that dress before I even chose it. But it was just um, interesting to me that a dress that really didn't seem like much on the hanger, not a dress that I even imagined myself wearing. I honestly didn't think that I would wear such a revealing dress in the back or even in the front. And I thought that I would choose a dress that had more stuff going on in the front. But really, the front of my wedding dress was very simple, but it was also very elegant. And I think I liked the sophistication of it, the understated kind of sophistication of it. And then there was that surprise in the back, where the back of the dress was really where the party was. And it was really unique in that way, because you don't really expect it. And then, bam, you just see the back is just like this long train. And then you got these cute buttons going down. They're very chic. And then you've got that really crystallized open back. And it just really flattered my body type. And I really liked wedding dresses with satin fabric, so I really did tend to gravitate towards satin. So I'm not that surprised about the satin, I guess. But the dress did not look like the dresses that I had pinned to my computer or eyeballed on Pinterest. Most of the dresses that I had kind of said I had favorited, they didn't really look like that dress. So I guess it goes to show that the dresses that you think you'll like, you might not necessarily choose that type of dress when you start trying on wedding dresses. And just a couple more details about the dress that I chose. It comes in sizes 0 to 28. Sometimes it's called a sheath, but I personally think it's more fit and flare. But the same website that called it a sheath also called it a fit and flare dress. And I had some challenges with making my bra work with the dress, and I think I'll make a separate video about how to wear dresses with revealing backs when you are heavier in the bust. I think that will be a whole other video. Please click like and subscribe, and just comment down below if you'd be interested in hearing about my tips for how to work with a bigger bust in an open, revealing backed dress. So I think it comes in two different color combinations. It comes in white silver or ivory silver. So I chose ivory silver. I think it complemented, like the ivory complemented my skin tone better. And I just think that even though it is relatively, I guess you could say, relatively revealing in the front and the back, it still had that air of sophistication and like I don't want to say modesty, but it definitely had this air of sophistication and refinement that you really wouldn't. It was just an interesting combination where it was very modern, but it was still sophisticated and still traditional in some ways. So it was just the perfect blending of those two worlds. And I fell in love with that dress pretty quickly. I felt good in it the second I put it on, and every time I put it on from then on, I just felt amazing in it. So it became clear pretty quickly that that was the dress for me. I just love that dress so much. I wish I could wear it again. I know that I guess I could always do more photo shoots with it, but then I also don't want to lose that specialness of the dress because it was meant for our wedding day, and I don't want it to lose um, that special feeling to it, so to speak. Hopefully the photos that I post here or that I will attempt to post will do a good job of showing you or showcasing the dress. Obviously, it's going to be much easier to understand once you see photos rather than just me talking. Um, but if you Google Morilee, Madeline, Gardner, Marlena, or any of the combinations like the style number or Blu Collection, you'll be able to see tons of images of this dress, as well as on the official Morilee Madeline Gardner website. If you do have other questions about this dress, just let me know, comment down below. I love it when you guys have conversations with me, but I thought that it was time to share more information about my wedding dress, and I was really excited to share more details. Until next time, bye guys.